Hey everybody, welcome back to Jiminia's Promo, and today we'll be talking about the 8 Sleep Pod Pro and the Pod Pro cover. So here on this channel, we cover a lot of tech, and that's exactly what this bed and what this cover is. It's a way that you'd be able to track your sleep, your light sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep. You can also have a gentle rise technology with just a small vibration waking you up in the morning. It's also able to regulate with the temperature all around you in your room and outside. So if it notices it's a little bit warmer outside, it'll let you know just to cool it down a little bit more. And you're able to either warm up or cool down each side individually. So my wife always has her side warm and mine's always super cool. So this bed has 5 layers equaling 12 inches. And if you got yourself recently a brand new setup, you have yourself a brand new bed, you don't want to get a brand new mattress, maybe you just purchased a mattress 1 or 2 years ago, and you're only looking for the technology, that is what you'd be looking for here with the Pod Pro cover. So this cover is universal. It can go on other mattresses as well if you want to have the heating and the cooling and the sleeping technology built on your already now setup. Now I went with the Pod Pro and the Pod Pro cover because we were looking for a brand new mattress. I feel like the one I had was too soft. This one is a little bit more firm, but after you sleep on it for about 2 weeks, which I've used this for almost 2 weeks, it's been 13 days now, it will kind of soften up just a little bit, but I'm going to show you some of these layers here later on in today's video. So if you are interested in the Pod Pro with the cover, or if you're only interested in the cover, I will have links below the video inside the description and a promo code where if you use the promo code JimmyIsPromo, you'll be able to save $100 on either set that you're looking for. Again, it's the mattress with the cover technology or just the cover technology itself. And also sometimes when you purchase mattresses, they're not the most cheapest, lowest price things you can ever purchase. So the nice thing about the 8 Sleep website is that you can also go with any of their monthly setup plans when it comes down to the 24-month or 36-month, depending on the cover or if you get the pod plus the cover. Now the format of today's video is I did the opener. Now we're going to head over to the packaging and also the setup of the Pod Pro and the Pod Pro cover. Then I'm going to show you a quick little clip. It was the first morning I woke up after sleeping on the bed for the first time, and bed head and everything, just letting you guys know my first initial thoughts. Just right then in the moment, went downstairs, shot it. Then we're going to go through this application, the 8 Sleep application, so you can monitor everything. You can see how long it took you to go to sleep, how long it took you to wake up, the times you went to bed, the time you wake up, also your deep sleep, light sleep, and REM sleep, and then also how you can change your the temperature of the bed on the left or on the right hand side, or if it's just you as a one user using the cover or the bed. So really that's about it for this. And once we get done with that application, then I'm going to give you my final thoughts, the 2-week review of sleeping on the Pod Pro and the Pod Pro cover from 8 Sleep, because I am super thrilled to share with you guys these results. I'm not really trying to fully sell this thing. I just want to give you guys my honest opinion, the honest experience I've had sleeping on this mattress and the cover. And it's all really great things because I guess my old bed was just something that I definitely needed to improve, and this the 8 Sleep definitely did that. So let's get into the packaging, let's get into setting up and everything else. So here are the 2 boxes you would get in shipment if you get yourself the Pod Pro mattress along with the Pod Pro cover. Obviously the larger box is that box holding onto that compressed mattress. And then in the smaller box, the cubed looking box holds all of the brains, all the technology. So this is where you find your power source, the tubes, your cooling machine. And then on the other side will be the Pod Pro cover. Again, that has all the technology built in to either warm or cool each side. Now the best way to get this out is to kind of pull it on out. I kind of lifted it, tilted it, put it onto the bed frame first. So you can really do this how you want, but the best way to do it is really just to kind of pull it on out, and then you just want to unroll it. And then honestly, I'm just going to play the rest of this basically at its regular speed. I'm not going to cut through this because this was something I was very curious about. After you get it outside of its packaging, outside of, the compression it was in, how fast does it expand? And this video is in the regular 1x speed. You can see the moment it gets out of the packaging, it just starts to expand. I thought I'd had to leave it there for a few hours for it to fully finish or anything like that. but it does a really good job just by expanding by itself just in basically a minute or 2 minutes. So there is a slight little smell when it comes to unpackaging this, but that is just the normal mattress factory smell, the packaging smell. It left the house right after just a day. We just left the windows open, things like that. And you'll notice that I will be rotating this mattress, because when you see that figure 8 right on the very bottom, the number 8, all you want to do is just make sure it's on the bottom left hand side, because on the top left hand side is the start of the zipper on this mattress. So this way you'd be able to simply just zip the Pro cover on top. Then you got to lay down, obviously. Now the rest of the contents is going to be the cooling machine, and this one's just sitting upside down. I didn't notice that when I was filming. You got your power source, then you have a tool to drain water, and then also your start guide. Then this is going to be the Pod Pro cover itself. This is what you'll be zipping onto the mattress if you were to get the mattress itself. So this is what the zipper looks like. It looks to be very good quality. I wanted to get up a close look at that. Now when you do fit it around, I did notice that you want to leave the bottom right hand side up, as you can see here, and you want to take it off the bed frame just a little bit so you can actually reach the zipper. And here it is, just zipping it up. Super simple, super easy, no strain, there's no stress, nothing going on, and it fits perfectly well. Then you just put it right into place. So this is what the pod looks like. It looks really good. I mean, we do use fitted sheets and covers, things like that, so we did put it on there. But this is a good place to mention that this bed will help you fall asleep up to 32% faster, just because of the pod's smart temperature 2.0 feature. You can wake up more refreshed with the gentle rise, which is the slight vibration that it'll do. You can change the temperatures. You can regulate it between 55 degrees to 110 degrees, and it's all being done with this machine here. That is where you want to fill in your water, and it's going to be pumping a little bit of water fluid, through the brains of the operation. That right there is going to be the plug. You just simply plug it, and then you're going to also plug in the power. So you can also seamlessly monitor your HRV. So the 8 Sleep application monitors your key health metrics while you sleep, and it's been so far such a good experience. This is the setup process. When you go through the setup process, they really put it all into steps, and each one of these have a small, tiny little video that goes along with it. This is showing you, how to take it out of the box, how to plug it in, how to do this, how to do that. So there's a lot of this that I did not show in this video. I didn't have to get that up close just because everything was shown right here. Then you just want to let the app know if you're laying in the bed by yourself or if you'll be having a spouse or someone laying next to you. So here is the end result. This is what it looks like. And actually this did get a little bit less firm as you did lay on it, and also it had slight curves around the edges, and those flattened out. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that the Pod Pro has 5 layers. So here are those 5 layers. The first one is 1 inch, and that's the Comfort Blend. The next layer is 2 inches, and that's the Airflow top layer. The third level is the 1 inch layer, Supportive Air Technology. The fourth is a 4-inch layer, Flex Spring Technology Core. And then the last layer, which is the 5th, is 4 inches Durable Premium Base. So when you add all of these together, it equals 12 inches. So let's take a look at the 8 Sleep application. Now this is a free application you can download on the Play Store as well as the App Store. And inside of here, this is really the control center of the entire brains of the operation. So here's the first page here, the main home page. Then you have your stats page. You can see here that there is a couple nights that I'm also not laying in the bed. It's because every other night, one of us is going inside of the room with the toddler. He's 14 months old, always waking up. You need to put the binky back in, or he needs to lay with you in the bed that we have inside of there. So we go every other night, and actually 2 nights I get 100% for sleep fitness. It's actually really cool to see that. The third tab is the heart rate variability, some more details on sleeping. So the sleeping heart rate, sleeping respiratory rate. You can also learn and discover what all of those mean. And then the last tab is doing things for meditation, breathing, listening, and then you also have movement. So it's a way that you can start your day with stretching and posing and things like that. Now here on this home page, this is where you'd be able to see, and also put in what time you want to go to bed, what time you want to wake up, and then also the temperature at all these different stages. So if you tap anywhere on any of these temperature options, so as you are going to bed, maybe you're just laying in bed, it's getting ready to go to bedtime for you. So really, basically, this is 1 hour before you're supposed to go to bed. So at 9:30 p.m. for me is when this will, kick in, because I have my sleep timer starting basically at 10:30 p.m. So at 9:30, this is going to kick on and start putting the temperature at -3. So you can go to -10. You can also go to +10. So if you want to get really, really, really cold, maybe it's a super, super hot day, or your room is really hot, or need to go to bed super cold or something like that, you can bring it down. I'm usually at -4, but for tonight, I'm going to put it at -5. And then you also have your initial. This is when you're actually, technically falling asleep, wherever you put your timer on the bottom. The final, which is the main area of when you're sleeping, probably your hardest, and then closer to the time that you wake up. So I do have it at -2. And then this is where you can put in that gentle awaken. So really, if you want it to vibrate a little bit smaller, so if you don't want much of vibration to kind of be next to your head or your shoulder or your upper back, then you can bring it down. I always had mine at 5. But this morning, tomorrow morning, I'm going to have it at this 6 number, because I want to see what it feels like at 6. And if you know for a fact that you're not going to sleep in your bed for a couple of the nights, then you can, switch all of this for the nights that you go to bed. Now, because for us, it kind of switches on and off, even though we are pretty good at every other night, I don't really want to put a timer or a schedule on it. On the very top left-hand side, this is where you can set it up, where if you have a partner or if you don't have a partner. So I do have a partner sleeping on the other side of the bed, so they can manage their technology on their side of the bed. So they put it up at whatever temperature that they want. If you're sleeping by yourself, then the entire bed will be forming to you. But when you do have another person, then it's going to be basically split down the center. So then there can be 2 different climates per each side. Then on the very top right-hand side, it's going to let you know what the temperature is indoors, the relative humidity, and also the temperature outdoors, comparing it versus last night versus tonight. And so it's going to kind of let you know if you should bring it up or bump it down just a little bit. So if there's a night that it's completely off by 10 degrees, it's going to say, hey, tonight's going to be warmer than last night. You might want to bring it down just a little bit. And then the second tab right over here, this is where you can take a look and track everything on the daily or on the weekly or on the monthly. Now, I've had this bed for almost 2 weeks. It's been 13 nights so far, and I wanted to make sure I got at least 7 nights in for you guys of some awesome detail and results. Because the wife and I, we switch off every other night. You can see I was sleeping there, sleeping there, sleeping there, sleeping there, not. So every other night we're sleeping with our toddler. His name's Elliot. He's going to need something usually at midnight or 3 in the morning, like a binky, or wants to lay in the bed, outside of the crib in that room. So we're just going to take a look at a couple nights that I did really good in terms of getting 100% for the sleep fitness. So you can see that usually on average, I get about 5 hours. I'm usually a night owl. I'm always up until 11 or midnight. I'm also in this room here usually till 11 o'clock, 11:30, just editing videos, things like that, shooting the videos. So I did really great this night. I got 7 hours and 29 minutes, and it felt really good, and I remember that. And the craziest thing is over here, I passed out in like 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you those stats as well. Wake up consistency is 7:18, 7:19, 7:20. So I usually get about like 7 hours of sleep sometimes. Or in terms of waking up, I'm usually waking up at like 7:04, 7:15, 7:18, things like that. And then for the time to fall asleep, this one was 24 minutes, but on this one it was 5. It took me 5 minutes to pass out on a Sunday, and it was awesome. I guess I was just super, super tired. Then it talks about the time that you're right here, laying in bed, the time to leave the bed. Usually it only takes me 3 or 4 minutes. This one was 2 minutes, so that helped me keep the score at 100%. So it takes me 2, 3, or 4 minutes to get out of the bed. And then here's the timelines here. So it always shows what time you went to bed, which I usually lay in bed sometimes, 10:30, 11:30. I'll fall asleep at however long it takes. And so this one, on this night, I went to bed at 11:45, woke up at 7:18. I got out of bed at 7:22. And then here's the sleep stages. So you got your REM sleep, light sleep, as well as deep sleep. And then you're going to see your tosses and turns, which I'm a very light sleeper. Just by natural, there's so much light sleep that I do. And even just with any sleep stage, I feel like I'm always light. I can always hear everything, and especially with a toddler and a baby monitor, I can always hear little whimpers, whines, things like that. And I believe that's what really brings a lot of my toss and turns. Now, if we take a look at this night here, You can see that I laid in bed at 11:41, went to sleep at 11:46, woke up at 7:02, got out of bed at 7:04. I mean, this is perfect right here. I don't think many people can pass out in 5 minutes. But here is that the sleep stages for that night: 12% for REM, 64% for light, 24% for deep. But even though I felt refreshed that day, I'll tell you that. I had so many tosses and turns because I know a couple times the wife came into the room looking to do something. The baby woke up. That was a really hard night for the baby. So with the baby monitor, I can hear it, but then I go right back to bed. So again, it'll keep track of your tosses and turns. And when you take a look at your week, then this is where you can see it all in a different viewpoint, a step back, so you can see where you can improve. So it looks like my time slept, I always have to improve of it. I mean, I'm really always closer to about 6 hours of sleep, which is pretty accurate. Wake up consistency, going through what times I go to bed. Sometimes this is going to be a little off, only because there's a few nights I'll sleep in bed for about 4 hours and then the baby wakes up and then I do need to go inside of there. So I know that this would look a little bit better for the normal average consumer or user, sleeper without any babies. If you have a baby and you have a sleep schedule kind of like mine or ours, then you're going to see yours looking very, very similar to mine. And then you can see how many times of out of beds, tosses and turns, sleeping heart rate, average respiratory rate. So many really cool things. This tab here, you can take a look at the heart rate variability, the sleeping heart rate, sleeping respiratory rate, and you can actually discover and learn more about it. Then on this very last page, you can do some stuff for meditation, breathing. You can calm yourself down, listening to audio, which I'm going to show you that here in a second. And then as you wake up, you can do some moves, you can do some yogas, some poses, some stretches. Waking up the right way is a part of your sleep fitness. So with the listen, this is what I always use. I love the Rainforest Nightlife. I love the Rain and Thunder. I used to always go to bed with this actually sometimes. So now with it being a part of this application, I've been using it more often than having, one of these smart devices next to me playing music. But if you do Rain and Thunder, you hit the play button and then it's going to go. And you can see here that I have my timer there for 20 minutes. And it's because that's what I put in there. You can go through, you can change the timer. Actually, when I first got this thing, so you can put up to 5 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. But it was originally at 5 minutes out of the box. Once you get the application, it's 5 minutes. They're hoping people can pass out in 5 minutes. But if you're somebody who only takes maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go to bed, you can put it there. Or if you're someone else who wants to listen to it for like 35 minutes, and then you just hit on set, and then that's it. And then as you're sleeping, hit your power button and you're good to go. So that was majority of everything here with inside of this application. I wanted to show you this last page. We took a look at this page. Here's all the statistics. So I'm going to just switch it right back to the day. And then here's your main home page. And if you're not going to be home, maybe you're on vacation or something, you can hit the power button to turn it off if you want to. And then for some of those nights that I'm not laying in the bed and the wife is in there, I tap right there. I turn this off and then I just hit on X, and then there is no set wake up right there. So if you're not going to lay in it and you don't want to disturb your spouse, things like that, then you can turn it on or turn it off. So I hope that you guys have liked the video so far. And from my personal experience, I have loved the experience of sleeping on the Pod Pro and the Pod Pro cover itself for the last 2 weeks. Now, when it comes down to technology, when it comes down to products, everything just has to be fluid and everything just has to work well. Super easy to use really in any age group. So when you take a look, first off, when it first comes into your house, you set it all up, it expands, super simple. Plug everything in the way that the application tells you to do, super simple. And then just the process was really quick. And then the application itself is very intuitive. You know exactly what every single thing is. You know how to navigate the application after just a few minutes of using the application. And as you use it for a few extra days, maybe an extra week, 2 weeks, then you'll notice that some of the details, some of the statistics from the day to the week, you'll get different things shown. So they did a really good job when it comes down to the application, the technology. The bed itself is very comfortable. It's very similar as if, sometimes when you go to a hotel and you sleep in their bed, because it's a bed that is not yours, you sometimes just sleep like a rock. You get out really quick, you're passed out in just a couple minutes, you get a really good night's rest. And I feel like that's what is happening here, but it's happened every single night so far. And it could be because of just the cool factor it's able to do. It's able to have a technology with some cool fluid just running through, at least on my end. This is just me giving my honest experience from laying in the bed, using the technology, using the application. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I always wanted to track my sleep, the light, the deep, the REM, but I am not a accessory wearing person when it comes to sleeping at night. If you're cuddling with somebody or whatever's going on, it's not comfortable. So laying on the technology that does all of that is just super simple, phenomenal, and it's really just a no-brainer. So if you're looking for getting a different mattress and maybe all this technology, then you can be taking a look at the Pod Pro plus the cover. But if you already have a perfect setup, you love the bed you just got, maybe you got it a month ago, a year ago, and you're fully happy with everything you have, then you just take a look at the technology, the cover itself. And again, I'll have the links below the video inside the description if you guys are looking to save an additional $100 with the code of Jimmy is promo. So it's a discount code, Jimmy is promo. Again, all listed in the description below. But again, thank you for 8 Sleep for sending off this mattress, the technology. I am super thrilled, happy, very good experience, which is why I'm shooting this video today. But I hope you guys have liked this video and appreciated this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.